What was the Mosquito like to fly?
It was a very tricky aircraft, but I didn't have any trouble because I had been many hours of flying. But it was when you learn to fly it properly, and it was a beautiful aircraft, and it was very maneuverable, and also another thing, the Mosquito would take a lot of damage.
Tell me about the flak photo.
I was sucked in, I think. The controller said we have to trade, so my navigator eventually got a blip. But we never did see the aircraft, but we knew there was an aircraft ahead of us someplace, and we wanted over a low tie, and I think all I knew then was there was flak that came shooting up, and so we got the heck out as fast as we can. Of course, that's the time, but they hit me before I was able to get out. So then I didn't waste any time. I went back to base.
We appreciate the Mosquito so much for its speed, but I didn't realize that it was a challenge to try to home in on a target that was flying much slower.
Because we didn't have speed brakes at that time, so the only thing we could do was to lower our speed fast, was to put our undercarriage down in about 30 degrees of flap, and we hoped the undercarriage wouldn't tear off. We had radar that covered about 50 to 75 miles, and if they got a blip of something and they suspected an enemy, they say, we have trade 20 miles away or something like that. They would direct us until our navigator picked up his blip on his radar, and he would tell me to turn left hard or right hard and so forth, and identified as a Fokker 190, one of the latest German fighters. As he was doing evasive action, I was able to keep my gun sight on him, and just one burst. It must have hit a vital spot because he just exploded, and I couldn't believe the debris just came flying off the aircraft, and so I had to do a quick evasive action because the aircraft seemed to just stall. And then about 10 minutes later, they advised me of trade again, and so we did the same procedure, and we were told a very slow-flying aircraft, and so the navigator got a contact about 10 miles, and as he was bringing me in, they were doing evasive action, and he got me in a good position. I came in from below, which I always like to do, and it was about 400 feet. I identified it as a Junker 87, and then I fired just one shot, and then the aircraft exploded, and I did my evasive action to the right. And then lucky enough, there was another aircraft, another Junker 87, and the procedure was the same.
How important is it, do you think, that we remember on Remembrance Day?
Remembrance Day is not to glorify war, it's to honor the people who lost their lives during the war. Over half my graduating class never survived. I mean, I had many friends lost during the war. That's the only purpose of remembrance, to remember the people that lost their lives.
Evert, thank you.
Well, thank you.